Welcome, Andrew Hewitt, Solution Consultant, Gainsight. And we're going to be talking about the future of retention. What was
Yeah.
that?
Hey, Julia. How are you doing?
I'm excited for this. What's new with Gainsight?
Yeah, really excited to be here. Thanks everybody for joining. And yeah, I'm here. I'm a solutions consultant at Gainsight. Really looking forward to kind of showing you how Gainsight is leveraging and some best-in-class customer success orgs are leveraging AI to really kind of transform what a CSM means and allow you to kind of grow and scale with, like you can see here, without having to add headcount and drive better retention rates. So yeah, looking forward to jumping in.
Let's dive into it.
Awesome. Well, let me get my screen up here. Awesome. So let me present really quickly. So really fast. Maybe for those who don't know, Gainsight, we're a industry-leading customer success and post-sale customer experience platform, really designed to help organizations retain and grow their customer base. That's really our bread and butter. We're also a leader, and we're on the forefront of how we can leverage AI in those processes and how we can leverage AI to really transform the CSM role in general. So really quickly, I think we all know that CSMs tend to be a very jack of all trades type of a role. They really are involved in everything from technical conversations and product support all the way over to commercial relationships, driving revenue, driving expansion dollars with your customers. And really where Gainsight is envisioning specifically AI and AI agents to step into that mixture is our vision is to help CSMs focus their time on the things that got them into being a CSM. Things like relationship management, things like driving value for customers, and let AI do the rest. Let AI handle the grunt work, as you can see here, and let CSMs get back to doing what they love and doing what they do best, which is the customer relationship management side of things. What we're seeing from like a best in class CS organization framework is the growth of AI. As you can see here, a lot of the foundational workflows our customers are leveraging AI for is much more in the humans with the AI in the loop. So much more of the AI being an executive assistant type of a persona in that dynamic, being able to help me automatically capture call notes and recordings and help me surface up lists of customers that I need to be engaging in, like all of that kind of repetitive work that does take a lot of time for CSMs. We're seeing a lot of customers in a foundational workflow with AI drive a lot of those workflows, in much more of a foundational manner. As you start to kind of grow in that maturity phase, we're seeing a lot of customers start to leverage AI platforms and AI within Gainsight to help with much more of the analyst side of things. How could Gainsight and AI uncover unknown insights that I might not know about as a CSM, spot churn that I didn't even know was happening or I wasn't even aware of, much more in that like sidekick, co-pilot type of an analyst role. As we start to see the CSM role transforming in the future, it's much more into that agent model. How could the AI be looking at those signals and those insights and then helping perform actions on my behalf so that as a CSM, I'm really focused on kind of driving those relationships with customers. So where I'm going to focus the remaining time here is showing you how Gainsight can help on all three of those things. So really going to get started with much more of that assistant type of a role and how Gainsight has AI features that are really relevant to helping me do some of that kind of foundational, grunt work type of activities. Then really I want to show that the group here how Gainsight is positioned to be that sidekick analyst for you, and then how we can start really driving those actions on the behalf of the CSM here. So I will jump out here and I'll get started with that first workflow. So one of the really foundational areas that our customers, and I'll move my Zoom bar here, our customers are leveraging AI is Gainsight has an AI agent, an app that can live right where the CSMs are spending their time already. What you're seeing here is in Slack. I'm a CSM. I'm managing a book of customer relationships. Right where I'm living, 50, 75% of my time in Slack, I can go ahead and just query the Gainsight AI agent and say, hey, like, show me a list of customers who have renewals coming up in the next quarter. I don't have to go and build that report. I don't have to go and sift through a list of customers. Let me just throw that to our agent, shoot me back a list of those customers that have renewals coming up. Cool. Gainsight, help me craft an email so I can get, planning and I can get a meeting on the books with those customers and start having those renewal discussions. This is a really simplistic example, but the idea is we have an AI agent within Gainsight right where CSMs spend a ton of time, right in Slack, allowing them to query reports, build lists of customers, craft emails, like do a lot of those foundational types of workflows and actions right where they're spending a bunch of time. So again, really, really quick example of how Gainsight is leveraging AI and how some best-in-class CS orgs are leveraging AI to be much more of that foundational, assistant type of a persona. As I move forward here, though, I want to jump into how Gainsight could be much more of that analyst that sits next to me that is surfacing up really key insights that maybe I wasn't even aware of in the beginning. So that's where I'm going to jump over into a platform that Gainsight calls our Staircase AI system. What our Staircase AI platform does is it has the ability to connect into all of the avenues at which we are engaging with customers. Think email, support tickets, meeting, transcripts, call recordings, like all of those areas that our entire organization is engaging with customers. Using AI, we can then use all of that context to start to surface up really interesting signals to me as a CSM. So just jumping in here, what you're seeing is the example of an account. Maybe this is a customer that I'm responsible for managing as a CSM. This is one of my accounts. What Gainsight and our Staircase platform does is we can automatically generate with no human manual intervention required. We can automatically start to give high-level summaries to those CSMs to give them an idea of what's happening on this account without having to go look through lists of activities or emails or anything like that. But more importantly, as you can start to see here, one of the really key use cases of Staircase is to start flagging potential insights that I should be aware of as a CSM that maybe I didn't even know of prior to leveraging Gainsight. So in this example, we actually note that this customer, you can see they're at risk. They're a customer whose Staircase has automatically flagged as being like, hey, CSM, this customer is at risk. You need to be aware of that. I can then look and see, hey, why is this customer at risk? Okay, Staircase is actually flagging that there was a churn risk that happened maybe a couple weeks ago. So what does that actually mean? As a CSM, the beauty here is that the AI is trained to be a CSM sidekick. It can help analyze the interactions that we're having with this customer. And based off of just this email, just this one message that this customer shared with us, you can see here, this customer is clearly saying, hey, like, we're not quite sure that this partnership is working anymore. We might have to look at other options. That is context that's really, really hard for a CSM to know and keep track of and regularly look at all of the communications that a customer is having with the team. What Staircase is doing is it's automatically flagging that up and saying, hey, just so you're aware, this customer is really trending negatively. They're a serious churn risk within our customer base. So that's where Gainsight can be much more of that analyst. Let's look at all of the signals that are happening across this customer's relationship and just start flagging risks, flagging opportunities for growth, just being that analyst to surface up, key insights that I might need to be aware of. This is all well and good, but I think where AI and where Gainsight can then start to really drive a lot more efficiency gains is starting to understand like what's the next best action. Cool. This account is a churn risk. What should I do next? Okay, there's a churn risk here. We need to pull together the team, create a plan to overcome this risk. Or what are some of these other insights that Gainsight is identifying, and what's the recommended next best action as a CSM, so I can really know like what my playbook is from here. Now, the future of where this is going is to start to take things like those insights and then just drive automated workflows off of that and start to actually take those actions on behalf of me as a CSM. So again, we're just freeing up, exponentially more time from the CSMs so that they can focus much more on the relationship building piece. So maybe whenever we do receive that signal that a customer is at risk, or one of those other signals that Gainsight can surface up, maybe we then just drive some really interesting automated workflows where we can engage those customers completely at scale, put some of those touch points in there. So where as a CSM, I should get involved, it can funnel those customers over to me, and I can be really, really focused on what the most important and kind of high impact customers and actions are that I should be taking. So I want to be conscientious of time. Really, again, the whole point here is that we do want, if I go back a few slides here, our whole goal is let's take a lot of that grunt work off the plate of the CSMs and get them back to doing what they love, being humans and working in that human relationship business. That's kind of our whole goal, and where Gainsight's building AI and agents into kind of that post-sale ecosystem here.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Andrew. And let's address
Yeah.
a couple of questions here from the audience.
Sure.
One of them is, what ROI benchmarks are you seeing from teams using Staircase versus standard Gainsight alone?
Yeah, so I think benchmark, of course, is going to be the ratios at which the CSM team can serve. So how many accounts can CSM support, effectively? That's where I think the analyst persona can come into play. Is as a CSM, I can support a greater number of customers because a tool like Staircase can proactively be surfacing up churn risk to me, negative sentiment issues with me, expansion opportunities with me, without me having to spend the time of like looking at reports, digging into trend lines of data to kind of sort all of that out. And then I think another one, just quite simply, is the retention rates, of course. Like if we can be much more proactive in understanding those signals, it allows us to course correct before that customer really it turns into a churn situation. So yeah.
It helps. People are asking, what does the onboarding look like? How long before your models start producing actionable insights?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest benefits of Staircase specifically, is that the platform itself is trained on the persona of a CSM. So we are built in that CSM mindset. The onboarding process for Staircase is extremely fast. We've seen customers get fully up and running and starting to see actionable insights in 48 hours. It can be as quick as a day or two, quite honestly. So that's one of the really big benefits of Staircase, is how quick and easy it is to start seeing those insights.
Awesome. And for all of the folks watching, what's the best next step?
Yeah, I would absolutely urge you to go to gainsight.com for sure. I would absolutely urge you to look at coming to our Pulse event here in a couple weeks in Las Vegas. It's kind of our big flagship conference we host for the CS world. So certainly look into that. If you're not able to attend, certainly look into recordings afterwards. But yeah, thanks everybody for the time.
Amazing. Thanks again, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you.